All right, cool. Okay, hello, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Muscles Made Simple live event. Now, I know quite a lot of you can't be here live, and you're going to be watching the replay. I have people from around the world I've seen, Australia, America, Canada, amazing, who have messaged me saying they can't see it live, but they're going to watch the replay. So, same thing, if you're here live, amazing. I appreciate you being here. If not, watch the replay, and you're going to get a lot of great tips today. So, we're here to learn the three simple steps to build muscle and get shredded. Now, in this day and age, it is so confusing, right? Nobody knows what the best diet is, what the best workout is. It's all so confusing. And unfortunately, a lot of the fitness industry has become about trying to stand out, trying to stand out, sell fad diets, sell fad training programs, all in order to make money. And I get it, people need to make money. And a lot of the stuff that works doesn't sell. But I'm here to teach you what works. I'm not here to teach you a cookie cutter program, a one size fits all program. I'm here to teach you exactly how I, over the last 15 years of coaching myself and many clients, have been able to build muscle and get shredded in a way that's not complicated and not restrictive. So I added on the Facebook group a resources page. So I printed it off myself here. If you haven't got it, that's fine. You can download it later and fill it out. Or if you've got a piece of pen and paper or a notepad, I would suggest you go along as we go. I'll give you a little bit of time to fill it out if you need to. I think it just helps a lot as you write, as you come down, rather than just waiting until afterwards. It will sink into your brain a little bit more. So without further ado, we're going to get straight into it. But first, let me just tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up as a 16-year-old kid. And at 16, I was still very skinny. I was weak. I was rubbish at sport. And the only sport I was really interested in was martial arts, because my dad was a fighter, and bodybuilding. I used to, again, with my dad, watch Arnold Schwarzenegger, pumping iron and all that. And being that insecure, skinny kid, I just couldn't wait to lift some weights, build muscle, and learn to fight. So that's what I did. I started to do martial arts. I started to lift weights. And I made a lot of mistakes along the way, a lot of mistakes just through ego, through not really knowing what I'm doing. And it took me years. It took me years to kind of build my body to where I am. And it wasn't until I kind of finished my MMA career. I still train, but it wasn't until I finished MMA where I really took a love for really building the body and building the physique. And I've learned a lot. And I want to save you time. And that's what tonight's about. I want to save you loads of time. I want to turn decades into days for you so that you can do things as efficient, as simple as possible. So get your notepad ready and we'll get started. So first thing I want to cover is mindset. Now, that's the first step, mindset. Now, you might think, oh, I'm here for exercise, I'm here for nutrition. But if you haven't got this, then nothing else is going to work. If your mind's not right, you're not going to be motivated and you're not going to do the things that you need to do. So when it comes to the mind, there's one important question more than anything else that you have to ask yourself. And that is, what do you want? Like, what do you truly want? I have so many clients come to me and I ask them, I say, well, what do you want to achieve? And a lot of them say, I don't know. Or even worse, some of them say, no, I just want to be in shape. And that's not specific enough. You're never going to achieve a goal if it's not specific. So really ask yourself now. You can put it in your notes or at least think about it. What do you want to achieve? Why are you here? Why have you joined this course tonight? Do you want to build 5 pounds of muscle? Do you want to build 10 pounds of muscle? Do you want to build bigger arms? Do you want to build bigger legs? What do you want? And have a little think about that. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Write it down if you need to. Some more people joining the chat. Hello, Mitch. Yeah, so write that down. What is it you want to achieve? And be specific. Once you know what you want, that's your long-term goal. That's your end vision. So, for example, say what you truly want is to build 9 pounds of muscle, yeah, in a year. So say your long-term goal in 1 year, I want to build 9 pounds of muscle. We need to break that down into short-term goals. Because what happens is when you have this long-term goal, you may really want it, but it's so overwhelming and so far out of reach that you think, oh, it's going to take so long to get there, and that makes you lose motivation. So when you've got your long-term goal, it's important to break it down. So if in 1 year you want to build 9 pounds of muscle, well, maybe in 6 months you want to build 4 pounds of muscle. In 1 month, you want to build 1 pound of muscle. And by breaking it down to those short-term goals, 1 pound sounds so much more achievable than 9. Oh, got another one coming in. Hey, John, welcome. So what do you want? Long-term goal. We want to break that into short-term goals. So do that now. Please take your long-term goal that you wrote or you thought about and we need to break it down into just 2 short-term goals. So as I say, for example, you want to gain 9 pounds of muscle in 1 year. Well, in 4 months, you want to gain 4 pounds of muscle. In 1 month, you want to gain 1 pound of muscle. Okay, so write that down. Then, after you've done that, really, really important is micro goals. These are your daily actions. So again, when you're thinking of your long-term goal, it can be overwhelming. You break it down into short-term goals, it's less overwhelming. But now we need to create an action plan. So what are the daily actions that you're going to do in order to achieve that? And these actions, and this is important, have to be things that are within your control. So it have to be things that you know you can achieve. So for example, go to the gym. That's one goal. You know that's in your control. Whatever happens at the gym, you can go. Get enough protein. Track your calories and get enough protein. You know you can do that within your control. Hit 10,000 steps. Those are 3 things that are in your control that you can do daily, that stack up, that over time are going to allow you to hit your short-term goal and hit your long-term goal. So when it comes to the mind, I really want you to think about this. Your long-term goal, breaking it down into short-term goals, and then again, daily micro goals. Now, next, and this is even more important, your why. Why do you want to achieve your goal? And this goes to anything in life, not just your fitness. A lot of time people want things, they want to be rich, but you ask them why, they give you a crappy answer. They're like, oh, I don't know, it'll be good. Why do you want to be a millionaire? I don't know, millionaire sounds cool, it's a good number. You're never going to do it. So when I say, what do you want? Why do you want it? Why do you want to build muscle and why do you want to get shredded? And usually, and here's a trick, the first answer you give is never the real reason. It's quite a shallow reason. So I like to use a tool, and you can see it in the resources section, where I ask why 3 times. So for example, if I say to you, what is your goal? And you say, I want to build muscle, and I say why, and you say, because I want to look good. I'm going to ask you that one more time. Why do you want to look good? Okay, you have to think a bit deeper now. Because I want to attract a woman. Okay, that's a bit of a deeper reason, but why do you want to attract a woman? Because I'm sick of being alone. And I know that sounds really deep, but they're the sort of reasons that are going to get you out of bed in the morning to go to the gym, to eat the right foods. So again, briefly on your notepad or in the resources section, or just deeply think about it now. I want you to think of your goal, and I want you to ask yourself now, why do you want to achieve it? And be honest with yourself. Be really honest. You've thought about it? Okay. Now again, I want you to go a little bit deeper. Why is that important to you? Okay, got it? Final time. Why is that important to you? Really get honest, really get deep. Don't think of the answer that you think people would want to hear. You don't even have to tell me this answer. Just think about it in your head. Why do you want to achieve this goal? Why do you want to build muscle? Why do you want to get shredded? Cool. Yeah, you've got a nice deep reason. You should have a nice deep reason, and you should feel quite motivated to change right now. And even if you don't do this now, trust me, before you pick any exercise program, before you pick any diet, this is the most important and crucial thing. And go back after this event. Really think about it. Think of your what, think of your why, and then that's when we can have some fun. So that's step number 1, mindset. Now the juicy stuff. Step number 2, exercise, right? Now, again, I told you this event's about teaching you how to create an exercise program for you and your body type and your goals. There is no best workout. There is no best exercise. People will try and sell you that there is, but there's not. There's only the best for you. So when you're creating a workout program, it's important, and I made this mistake all the time. I used to go online and I would type in people who I wanted to look like, right? I would go and The Rock's workout, Arnold Schwarzenegger's workout, and I would follow it and copy it, thinking that by training like them, I would look like them. No, because we all have different goals, we have different needs, and we're at different stages of our training journey, right? So creating a workout program, again, write this down. What is your goal? So we've just done that, okay? So what is your goal? Is it to build muscle? Is it to burn fat? Is it both? Is it to build bigger arms? Is it to build bigger legs? What is your primary goal? So before you create a program, you need to know that. Second, where are you now? Are you at the start of your journey? Have you never, ever been into a gym in your life? Have you been training for a year but not achieving results? Maybe you trained for years, you've had a break, and you're getting back to it. So you really need to know, where are you now? Write that down. How often can you realistically train, and how long for? Can you train 5 days a week? Can you train 6 days a week? Let's got a little question in the chat here. Well, if you aren't sure what your workout is right for your body type, would you recommend a personal trainer? I just don't want to go in too deep and lose motivation or get injured. Well, obviously having a coach and having a personal trainer is very beneficial. I'm a coach, I'm a trainer. I've had many coaches. Of course, that's beneficial. But that's what tonight's about. Tonight, I'm trying to coach you into teaching you how to train for your body type and how to stay motivated. So, a good question. Thanks for asking. So, where are you now? You've got that. Okay, so how long can you train for? Can you train 3 days a week, 5 days a week, and how long for? You need to know that before you even start a program, okay? And be honest. What equipment do you have? You know, there's no point copying a training program with equipment that you don't have. Maybe you only have dumbbells. Maybe you're training from home. Maybe you only have bands. And that's okay. Maybe you have a full gym where you have every piece of equipment under the sun. But when you create a training program for yourself, you have to know what equipment do you have. And then finally, what are your lagging body parts? So this is where, Mitch, you just said, how do you know what to train for your body type? If you've never ever trained before in your life, then chances are you need to do a program that's hitting the whole body quite equally until you find out what's lagging. But over time, you are going to find that certain body parts lag behind. For me, it was my chest and my legs. Thankfully, over time, I've brought my chest up. My legs, I've still got those skinny legs, but I do train them very, very hard, and I try and emphasize an extra day for them. So when you ask, how do you train for your body type? This is it. You want a plan that's hitting every body part and know exactly what your lagging body part is. So when we talk about workout training routines, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, you know what body part to give special attention to. So again, guys, if you haven't got it with you, go onto the Facebook group, download this resources section, because after the event, you can fill it all in and you can create the best plan for you. So, and also in the resources section here, I have many, many exercises. You can see I've compiled together a whole couple of sheets, all the exercises and what body parts they hit. So when you're making your program, all the exercises are there. So what best workout split for you? So there are many, many different workout splits. You've got full body, in which you hit the entire body in one workout, and maybe you do that 2-3 times a week. I recommend this if you're first starting out. If you've never trained a day in your life, or you're just getting into it, you don't want to be attacking just one body part, like for example, chest in one workout. It's going to be way too much for you. You're going to lose strength very quickly. So if you're just starting out, a whole body workout, 3 times a week, you're hitting the body more often, more frequency, and you're going to also learn the skill of training each body part at a faster pace. So you have full body. Then as you've got a little bit more advanced, half body. So this is where you might train all your upper body one day and your legs the next. Have a rest.
What do you want to play?
Nothing, Alexa. So got a mind of its own.
Cancelling.
Thank you. Okay, so half body, you train your body twice. So once you're a bit more advanced, I advise that, because each body part needs a little bit more attention. So rather than hitting one exercise per body part in a workout, maybe you're hitting 2. Then you have a bro split. So this is a typical bodybuilder split where you train one body part a day. Chest Monday, back Tuesday, shoulders, arms, legs. Now this could be really good if you're advanced and if you enjoy doing it. Because bottom line is, there is no best workout split. The best workout split is the one you enjoy doing. So if you love just hitting one body part a day and you hate training the whole body, then go for it. That's going to be better than doing something you hate. However, unless you're really, really advanced, I don't advise it. I always advise hitting a body part more than once a week. You're going to get way more out of it. So onto my favorite split. So this is what I give to most clients. This is what I do myself. And I think this is what will work for most of you. Push, pull, legs. So in this split, you train the entire body over 3 days. You're hitting each body part with enough exercises that you're going to achieve growth. but you're also able to hit each body part twice a week if you want to, because you can run push-pull legs, push-pull, maybe rest, legs, push-pull legs, and so on. Then, once you've discovered what your lagging body part is, or if you've already discovered it, this is my favorite split and what I currently do: push, pull, legs, weak point. So for me right now, I do a push day, I do a pull day, I do a leg day, I do a chest day, and then usually I will do a leg day. At the moment, I'm preparing for my first ever bodybuilding show, which is on Sunday. So I'm very hungry. So we wear shorts because in my division, and they've all got skinny legs. So I've actually chose to do arms. So my whole workout plan I've been running to it is push, pull, legs, chest day, arm day. Works very, very well. So if you go through your resources section, I've got a whole list of exercises and I've got a few workout routines that you can follow on your own. They're all on this sheet that you can copy today. But as I say, use it as a base and then you can tweak it to make it your own. How do we tweak it? So once you've decided what equipment you have, how many days you can train, what split you're doing, what's your lagging body part, here are the things you need to work out. And that's simply this. So let's do this alongside you here. So how many exercises per workout? I would suggest 6 to 8. No more than 8, maybe no less than 6. So as you can see on this resources section, I've got a list of loads of exercises. Depending on what routine you're doing, pick 6 exercises, and they're your exercises for the day. How many sets? So sets, this is the number of times you perform the exercise. Now, you have 2 types of sets. You have warm-up sets and you have working sets. Your warm-up set is the sets that you do to warm up. I always advise maybe 1 to 3 warm-up sets. If it's your first exercise, 2 to 3. If it's your second, third, fourth exercise, just 1 to get the movement pattern right. So for example, if I'm benching 100 kilos for my first working set, maybe I do 20 kilos for 10 reps, 40 kilos for 5 reps, 70 kilos for 2 reps. I'm warm, I'm ready to go. Now, working sets, these are the sets where you push hard, you go to failure, you give everything you've got, and you track. 2 to 3 working sets. If you're just starting out, I'd say do 2 hard working sets for each body part. If you feel like you're recovering well, you're not that sore the next day, up it to 3. 3 is more than enough, okay? Now, once you've chosen how many sets you're doing, how many reps? Now, the magic number for bodybuilding and building muscle is 8 to 12 reps. I like to do slightly lower reps, the 6 to 8 rep range, because you get an added strength bonus, and who doesn't want to be strong, right? And I also sometimes finish with 12 to 15 reps just to get a good pump, and it's great for your muscular endurance. But 6 to 12 reps is where the magic happens. Now, this is where I like to do things a little bit differently. And you might have seen online where people, what they do is they'll do their lightest set first, like 12 reps, go heavier, hit 10, go heavier, hit 8. Now, this doesn't make sense to me because each set you're weaker from the set before, and you can't actually lift that much more weight anyway. And then you end up doing your final set at your weakest with the heaviest. It can just lead to more injury. So I suggest always, after you've warmed up, of course, do your heaviest set first in the 6 to 8 rep range, go a little bit lighter, hit 10 to 12 reps, go a little bit lighter, and again, hit 10 to 12, maybe 15 reps, okay? Again, this is all on the sheet that you can find in the group chat on Facebook. Tempo. Now, this is important, so really listen up here and write this down. This is where people go wrong all the time. They just slam weights. I did it when I was young. You just want to tell your mates that you can lift more than you can, and they ego lift. Now, if strength is your goal, or power or explosion, okay, maybe you lift a little bit faster. If building muscle is your goal, it's all about creating tension in the muscle. And we do this by controlling the reps. So this tempo works for me, it works for everyone, and it goes like this. Just think of it like this: 3, 1, 1, 1. Easy to remember. 3, 1, 1, 1. We always spend 3 seconds on the negative, the controlling part of the exercise. So if I'm doing a bench press, for example, as I'm bringing the weight down, 1, 2, 3. If I'm doing a bicep curl, as I'm coming down, 1, 2, 3. Then 1, squeeze, come down, 1 on the stretch. Again, bench press, for example, 1, 2, 3, 1 on the stretch, 1 to come up, 1 on the squeeze. 3, 1, 1. This is so important. No matter what, even when it gets hard, try and keep this tempo. Don't just start slamming weights. And then finally, how much rest? I never track my rest on a stop clock or anything like that. I don't need to. But for your big main exercises like squats and bench press, 2 to 3 minutes. For isolation exercises like bicep curls, lateral raises, 1 to 2 minutes max. That's all you need. Now, this is important. Track your workouts. I use an app called Strong. It's a brilliant, brilliant app, but there's many, many out there. You can even use your notes. This is where I used to go wrong. When I first started training, I would do 2 things wrong. Number 1, every single week I would change my workout in order to shock the body. How do you know what's working if you keep changing it? Once you pick your workout routine, once you've created it for what we've done today, stick to that routine for 6 to 8 weeks to see what's working. And each week you need to focus on progression. And we can progress in 3 different ways. Number 1, the weight, of course, we can up the weight. Number 2, the reps. Or number 3, the form. So I'd always say progress the form first. Don't go up in weight or up in reps until you're fully happy with your form, until you've got nice control and you're really feeling that muscle work. Then progress the reps. If you're hitting that 6 reps on that first set, keep on that weight until you can do 7, until you can do 8. Once you can do 8, go a little bit heavier, so you're on 6 again, and go up. And the same for your other 2 sets in the higher rep ranges. So that's exercise. And again, I don't need to go through every exercise here. If you download the resource book, I've literally got all this written down, many workouts for you to try. Oh, no worries, Lewis, for having to leave. All good. You can watch the replay. No worries, mate. And Mitch. So as I said, if you just listened when I talk about warming up, in terms of warming up, if you mean like cardiovascular warm up, like a 5-minute jog, people like to do that, 5 minutes on the treadmill, 5 minutes on the bike. I don't do that. I do a mobility warm up where I just get everything going. It's a dynamic warm up where I like do some shoulder circles, some rotational movements, some leg swings. I like to get the body moving using these actual muscles. And then we hit our warm up sets. So our warm up sets, like I suggested earlier, is if you're doing a 100 kilo bench press, you do 20 kilos for 10 reps, 40 kilos for 8 reps, 60 kilos for 2 reps. So just a much lighter weight that you can do comfortably, getting a little bit heavier each time with less reps until you feel ready to go. And that's the best warm up. The best warm up to do weights is weights. No worries. Cool. So that's the exercise section. So we've got step 1, mindset, and you've got a whole list of things to go through so you know exactly what your goal is and why you want to achieve it. That's going to keep you motivated. We've just gone through exercises, and to go back onto it, it's about what is your goal in the gym? How much time do you have? What equipment do you have? Are there any lagging body parts? Once you've decided that, you can create a routine, which is based on 6 exercises per workout, about 2 to 3 working sets in the 8 to 12 rep range mostly. Again, go through the sheet and you can fill it all in and create a workout today. Literally, fill this sheet out tonight. Create a workout plan for yourself that suits your needs, your goals, your schedule, and has your equipment. This isn't just a one-size-fits-all. Brilliant. And any questions, just let me know. If you're struggling, send me a message. Cool. Okay, and then the final thing when it comes to exercise, which we haven't spoken about, is cardio. So cardio. Now, people always ask me, what is the best type of cardio? The best type of cardio is the one that you're going to do. And of course, if you're in a phase where you're trying to burn fat, then cardio is very, very important. But even if you're not, even if you're trying to bulk, cardio is going to give you a bigger appetite so you can eat more, and it's just good for you. So everyone should do cardio. And again, what type of cardio? What you enjoy. I enjoy boxing. I enjoy martial arts. I hate running. So guess what? I do boxing. I do martial arts. I don't run. If you like football, if you like basketball, if you like swimming, do that. Make the cardio enjoyable. Make it something that you want to do. Second to that is our NEAT. So this is the only big word I'll use. NEAT stands for non-activity exercise thermogenesis. Non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So basically what that is all the exercise you're doing outside of exercise. Walking, sex, all that good stuff. The main thing that you can change is your step count. Now, everyone always strives for 10,000. Is 10,000 good to strive for? Absolutely. But if you're only doing 1,000 a day currently, if you used up 1,000 to 2,000, you would see a big difference. Honestly, it helps so much. So check your phone now. Check your phone and see what your average step count is per day. You don't need it. You don't need a fancy watch. If you have it, great. But check your phone. If you're doing 5,000 steps a day, try and do 6,000 next week. If you're doing 7,000, try and do 8,000. And then you can slowly build up to 10. Instead of taking the lift, take the stairs. Instead of driving 5 minutes to the shops, walk. All this stuff really adds up. Instead of sitting down, stand. All this stuff really, really adds up. And in fact, the only thing I've changed, I've lost 2 stone leading up to my bodybuilding show. Of course, I've changed my diet. That's huge. And we're going to discuss that. But cardio, my step count, so the only thing that's changed my step count, I went from doing on average 10,000 steps a day to doing 15,000 a day. And just by changing that, I dropped so much weight before I even changed anything to do with my diet. So make sure you're checking your steps. And then finally, if you are really short on time, there's not much cardio you enjoy, you don't have time to get your steps in, you've got a really busy lifestyle, I understand. What you can do is at the end of your weight workout, and make sure you do it at the end, not the beginning, 10 to 15 minutes of HIIT training, interval training. So what that is, you might be on treadmill, you might sprint for 30 seconds and then rest for 30 seconds. Maybe you're on a bike. You could go cycle as hard as you can for 20 seconds, rest for 10 seconds. And again, on the result sheet, I've got a few different examples that you can follow. So make sure you incorporate some cardio into your weekly training routine. Cool. Okay, moving on. All right, now the fun part. Nutrition. Now, nutrition is the thing that everyone gets stuck up on. And even me, I'm obsessed with nutrition. I'm always looking, best diet, best supplement. And for some reason, we are all fascinated by it. And I think the reason people get so obsessed with nutrition, and it's become almost like a religion. It's almost like a religion or politics. It's like, my religion is the best. My nutrition is the best. Keto is the best. Carnivore is the best. And it gets so confusing because what you've got out there, which makes it even more confusing, is you've got doctors, like true medical doctors with actual evidence backing their system, backing veganism, backing keto. Because evidence bias is a real thing. You can get any evidence to support your theories. And a lot of people do it because, number one, they like to feel part of something, just like a lot of things, to feel like I'm better than you. And number two, to sell their program. For me to just say, eat healthy whole foods, that doesn't sell as well as me saying, this is the best diet, only eat this food, only take this supplement. You know, that Eddie Abu, you might have seen him, he's blown up recently, and he's all about like zero processed food, and now he's even doing the Liver King route and eating raw meat, and it's all to stand out. So what I'm about to tell you, I'm not going to say is the best way, because I don't think you can say that when it comes to nutrition. This is the way I've always done it, and it's what's worked for me, it's worked for all my clients, and I think it's what's sustainable. So you have a resource section, but I'm going to go through it. So I like to live a life where 80% of the time I'm eating healthy, single ingredient whole foods. You know, things that have zero ingredients in it, like one ingredient, sorry. So like a banana, a potato, a chicken breast, a steak, vegetables, fruit, all that good, healthy stuff. And this is what's funny, actually, when people say, what should I eat? If I was to lock you in a prison cell, for example, and say, you can't get out unless you lose 10 pounds. And around you, you have an abundance of all the foods in the world. I guarantee, time is not running. I guarantee that you would know exactly what to eat, right? You would know what to eat to lose weight. And likewise, on the flip side, if I said, eat to gain 10 pounds, you would know what to eat. We all know what's healthy and what's not. So 8% of the time, stick to the healthy foods. 20% of the time, enjoy the foods that you love. Enjoy the alcohol, enjoy the pizza, enjoy the donuts. Is it healthy? No, but I think balance is healthy. And you know what? I'd rather die a year earlier in life having a few beers and having a few donuts. But just don't do it every day. Cool. So go through your resource list. I've actually got a shopping list. So these are the foods that 80% of the time I eat. You don't have to eat all of this, but it gives you a nice little reference of the things that you should look for when you're shopping. When you are shopping, I always recommend going around the aisles first and writing a list. Write a list, stick to your list, don't go off list, and the aisles are the most healthiest. Now, When it comes to calories and protein and carbs and fats, this is where I do have some rules. Calories, take your body weight in pounds and times it by 15. This is kind of your maintenance. There's loads of different calculators, but I found this is the best and most accurate way to just start. And remember, it's just a starting point. Once you have that starting point, add 500 if you want to gain weight, take away 500 if you want to lose weight. Simple as that. Take your weight in pounds, times it by 15, add 500 if you want to gain, take away 500 if you want to lose. If weight loss or weight gain stops, add or take away 200 calories. And the most you should gain or lose per week is 1 pound to 2 pounds, because we only want to lose fat and we want to build muscle. That takes time. Weight loss, water weight loss, like you get from cutting out carbs, where you lose 3 to 4 to 5 pounds in a couple of days, sounds great in theory, but it's not sustainable. And this happens. So 1 to 2 pounds either way is more than enough. Use an app like MyFitnessPal. That's what I use. It's a great app. And I would suggest at least tracking your food and your calories for at least a month. You don't have to do it forever, but trust me, you do it for a couple of weeks. I remember getting my wife to do it, and she just tracked oil. And when she tracked the oil and realized that 1 tablespoon is 120 calories, just changing that in her diet changed everything. So track and see what you're eating. Now you've got your calories. The only real calorie nutrient that matters, macronutrient, is protein. People far undereat protein. As a general rule, you want to eat 1 gram per pound of body weight. So if you're 180 pounds, 180 grams of protein. Now, if you're not used to that, start a little bit lower, but build yourself up to that. And trust me, it's going to make a big difference. You're going to be full for longer, you're going to recover better, and you're going to build more muscle. And carbs and fats are interchangeable. I prefer, if you're active, I'm no carb this week and I feel like shit. I feel absolutely awful. Carbs are amazing. So if you're active, I'd suggest having a good amount of carbs and a little bit of fat. But some people love higher fat diets and lower carbs. They're interchangeable. As long as you're hitting your calories and your protein goal, then fats and carbs, have at it either way. Another lovely trick that I always recommend is see your calories as a weekly thing as opposed to daily. Okay, so imagine you need 2,000 calories a day to hit your goal. And say you go out with your mates and you hit 2,600 calories. And you go, shit, I've ruined my diet. Oh, for goodness sake, I'll have to start again Monday. No, because for the next 3 days, just go under by 200. And then you still hit your goal. So you can go over on the weekends, which I do all the time. I'll go over by like 1,000, and I'll just go under by 150 to 200 every other day, and I'll make up for it, and I'll still hit my goals. So it's a game changer. Don't look at your calories as a daily thing. Look at it as a weekly thing. Give yourself a weekly target and make sure you hit that. Cool. So use your results section. It's got all the things you need to do in order to learn how to calculate your calories, protein goals, fill it in, and today you'll know exactly how to eat. And that's it. Finally, I said we're going to have a bonus step, and we're going to have a bonus step. And this is important. What do you recommend with schedules who vary week in and week out? Sometimes I do long hours and don't have time, or I'm traveling around a lot with no gym and staying in places with no kitchen. 2 things. Number 1, bands. Again, that's why today is about making a program that is specialized for you. So if you've only got bands or you've got a hotel gym, that's why you need to create a workout that works for you. So take a look at all the exercises that I've written down, and you can create a workout to fit that schedule. And if you can only train twice a week, once a week, then create a workout plan to fit that. And that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing this tonight, to give you the tools needed to make your own workout. And in terms of food, prep. This has been the busiest month of my life. I'm moving house. I've had so much work going on. I'm working 15-hour days, and I've still found time to prep my food. Because guess what? On Sunday night, when I've got to cook dinner, how about I just make enough for the next 5 days and I take it with me? So there's always time, just meal prep, cook in bulk. So before we run out of time, I just want to quickly hit the final step: sleep. Sleep made simple. Sleep is so important and so overlooked. And I know a lot of people don't sleep very well. So here's a few hacks that I have in order to sleep better. Go to bed 9 hours before you need to wake up. Most people go to bed 8 hours before, thinking they're going to get 8 hours. They don't get 8 hours. If you go to bed 9 hours before you need to wake up, if that means watching a little bit less TV, scrolling a little less on your phone, go to bed 9 hours before you need to wake up, at least 8 hours to ensure you get more sleep. Stop using electronics before bed. Half an hour before bed, I turn my phone off and I opt to read instead. This is a game changer. Going through social media, it keeps your mind ticking. TV is actually okay because it's a bit more mindless, but turn your laptop off, turn your phones off at least half an hour before bed. Lights, try and turn off the top, like your ceiling lights, and just use lamps instead, like side lights. The dimmer, the better. Light is everything. Supplements. I take magnesium and theanine before bed. So if you really can't sleep and you're struggling, try magnesium and theanine. Write these down. They're in the resource section. Amazing. Change my sleep for the better. And I've been using it for years now. And the last thing, if you've got an overactive mind like I do, write things down. Every night before I go to bed, I have this little routine where I write down all my wins for the day and try and feel proud. And even if it's small, even if it's something I didn't think was a win at the time, like go to the gym or, give somebody a compliment, I write down my wins for the day. And then I write down everything I need to do for tomorrow. Or I've got a diary I write every Sunday. I go through it, write everything down, and then my mind's a bit more clear. It really does help. So there are some sleep hacks. Again, it's in the resources section. So we've gone through a lot today, and it wasn't long. It was 40 minutes, but I wanted to keep it simple. This was called 3 simple steps to build muscle and get shredded. People try and research all these things and spend hours trying to find all this science, and they mistake learning for doing. Today, we learned things in the most efficient way possible, and it's simple. It really is as simple as this. And go through the resources section and answer all the questions that we went through today. And you today, literally tonight, will have a diet plan and workout plan and a goal and mindset set up. Now, again, we only had 40 minutes today, which is such a shame, which is why I've created something so special. Honestly, I've created something that I'm ridiculously proud of because I've been working on it for 2 years. I filmed a lot of it 2 years ago, and I wanted it to be perfect. It's everything we learned today, but in so much more depth. Honestly, this was just a little bit, just a little taste. I've created, and I'll share for you here, I've created what I think is the best course you will ever get. The only course you will ever need in order to build muscle and get shredded. It's everything we learned today and more. Not only is it your shopping list, it's recipes. I've performed every single exercise that there is. And you can look at all the exercises and know exactly how to perform all of them. It's how to train for your body, how to perform the exercises, how to eat without restriction, how to always stay motivated. And I'm also putting 2 amazing bonuses: Sleep Made Simple in more depth, and a free strategy call where no strings attached. It's not a sales call. You can ask me any question you want and I will answer any questions you have. Anything, write it all down. I will give you all the answers you need for you and for your body type. All you need to do is go onto musclesmadesimple.com/order. musclesmadesimple.com/order. Go onto that. It has all the details there. And honestly, I'm giving it to you at an amazing price. That is only going to be this price. It's worth £350. It will go back to that. For today, for you only, and for the next couple of days, £147. Over half price, way cheaper than coaching with me. And it will give you everything you will ever need. The only course you will ever need to build muscle and get shredded. That's musclesmadesimple.com